I'm being told to trust the process. So that's what we're gonna do together here. I have my trusty Lappy Toppy here, and I'm gonna look up a couple things. So what I'm looking up here is that we've got sage and cedar. Alright, so 2 incenses are going. The first one is a sage and cedar combination. For you, that is including purification, grounding, and promoting a sense of well-being. There's also night blooming jasmine incense, so let's see what that's for. I'm trying to trust the process, but the process is looking terrifying. Stress reduction, mood enhancement, and improved sleep quality. So these are the 2 things, and then I have some palo Santo. And who's going to watch out for the camera? Palo Santo would as well. So we've got stress reduction, mood enhancement, improved sleep quality, so someone who's still needing some good sleep, purification, grounding, promoting a sense of well-being for the sage and the cedar. You know, I like to double check everything in real time so you know. Cleanse energy, promote relaxation, and enhance spiritual well-being. Okay. Alright. Those seem like makes sense. Okay. Night blooming jasmine 2. Stress reduction, relaxation. Okay. It's weird because I was told to trust the process. Burning wood and incense. Bizarrely enough, it just like had a hailstorm, like a crazy hailstorm. Just swept by for like an hour. And you know, it's like, I mean, this is just ambient music on my TV, but or ambient noises on my TV, but yeah, like it was just a little bit ago a completely scary world out there. And I guess this is a craft chat. This is supposed to be a craft chat. And what's been heavy on my mind lately is like how insidious stress is. Like, stress is masked as this like necessary energy to have, and all it really does is make things worse. And maybe it doesn't make it worse in the short term, maybe it's a long time coming, but it's usually like really shitty. because a lot of the stress doesn't even belong to you. So, that being said, adornments is the key I'm getting right now. Like, it feels like you need to do some adorning of yourself because you are deserving of pretty things. I'm hearing that the struggle isn't your ministry, the thriving is your ministry. Heavy on the we don't have to do this bullshit anymore energy. So I'm just gonna take some of these little hair cuffs and I'm gonna add things to them to make them pretty and then put them back in my hair while we talk about that a little bit. So like, I don't think this is necessarily about me, but like, it's not lost on me that a lot of us have been strangers up until now and then feel similar energies at each other. And I think it's great, I think it's lovely, but it's also pretty interesting just in and of itself. It's an interesting thing. Because, you know, for so long, like it kind of felt like the world was incredibly unsafe. And it hasn't done really anything to prove itself otherwise, you know? And so like, when you kind of sit in that, the realization that like, you have the desire for a form of lifestyle, like you just have it preset into your DNA, and then you're like not really sure why you can't like integrate into society. And it's not on some I'm an alien, I'm not from here, starseed, whatever the fuck. It's more like, no, I just don't think as a human being on this planet I should be experiencing certain things. And it feels so simple, and yet it's like somehow very otherworldly to think that way, you know? Like, I don't know. It is really weird though. Something fell. And my cat's gonna go investigate it. Yeah, it seems like there's some rumbling and the tumbling of the universe. I'm gonna just keep recording because, like, why not? And I'll be back. Guys, I wish I could make up some of the crazy shit that goes on in my life. The palo Santo stick burned so thoroughly from so deep that it cracked in half and one half fell on the floor. And the rest of it, so I picked it all up, it's still burning, it's still embering, it could have been a fire, I don't know, interesting. That's never happened to me before. I've been playing with Palo Santo for a while. Anyways, thought you should know. Crisis, I think, averted. Yeah, like, I don't know, where was I going with this? I'm supposed to be talking to you guys about adornment and taking care of yourself and being kind to yourself. And, you know, a lot of it has to do with getting the other voices out of your head that say that you don't deserve a life that is safe and accommodating to the baser needs of a human being. Red Jasper, apparently, we're doing. So I have these red Jasper chippies, and I'm going to put them on. I don't think you can see that. It doesn't matter. It's a chippy. You'll see the finished product, but there's red Jasper that came up as I was about to make this. So you're in need of increased physical stamina, courage, and determination, while you're also trying to process and support your emotional healing and empowerment. So you're needing something to reduce your stress while you're empowering yourself and supporting your own healing. Okay. You're gonna put up a fight, it sounds like. That's good. You should fight. You should fight to be here. Yeah, I was like looking at red Jasper, and then I guess and rose quartz. Let's see. That's what came up. So I would just like to see what that combination means. Yeah, rose and rose quartz. Yeah, let's see. Balance of the body, mind, and soul. Induce a sense of comfort, release emotional blocks, and boost your self-confidence. Okay. This is just from like a crystalhealingritual.com website. Oh my gosh. I feel like I'm an elderly person when I use my laptops. I'm so ridiculous. Yeah, emotional healing, passion, grounding, self-confidence, and detoxification, sage and cedar. So we're trying to detox something. We're supposed to detox something and let something holy in during this reading, and you deserve both all of the creative endeavors that you've been wanting to achieve, and also you deserve to have peace while you do that. It shouldn't be like hustle till you die all the time, is what I'm hearing. It's weird because like it's such a simple idea, like human beings, life forms shouldn't be in like a perpetual struggle mode, but it's almost like it sounds like a nice idea to people, but then like when you've been through like a significant amount of like trial and run eras where, you know, half the time it's okay and you're making it, and the other half you're just freaking suffering the whole time, and it's just like the only thing you know is keep going, and you don't really know what the hope is, in the keeping of the going. So like it's interesting because it's like people who are tired of feeling hopeless are often the first ones given the don't be so sad rhetoric. And I'm gonna tell you right now, it's fucking exhausting. It's very exhausting to have to keep going back to, like, yes, I know, keep going, yes, I know, be a good being, yes, I know, the good things might come my way if I keep holding on, but in reality, like, what I feel like a lot of us are struggling with is the concept of, like, what are we supposed to be doing here and now if we are the ones that are supposed to be the change we want to see in the world? If you don't have to really believe in anything spiritual, I think human beings just naturally want to have a life that's not constantly clouded in fear. So I'm just gonna share this thing I've been thinking about for the last couple of days. It's just been heavy on my mind. And yeah, like, I'm trying to purge some bullshit. I think the bitterness that I have had for a while, and I think I've touched on this a couple of times, is that I was told of a life and a career and a movement and a God and all manner of other things. I was shown and told to interact with the world and with the heavens in ways that did not come naturally to me. And so now I'm like 32 years old and battling the bitterness of realizing that all of these things that people imposed upon me to do and to be that I didn't vibe with really didn't have any right to do that, because they're the main ones who know that, like, it's not the kids' fault that the world is unsafe. But I think that unsafe people who cannot be trusted, instead of taking accountability for themselves and trying to do better, they would rather die with their bullshit, standing on all 10 toes that their harm of others is part of the natural order of some sort. People give themselves a lot of allowances to cause harm. And so now we're here. Which sucks a little bit. Because we're seeing stupid ass conversations that we were having before, you know, who deserves to be treated well and who doesn't, and who's in alignment with God more than someone else, blah blah blah. It's the same shit, different day, you know? Nothing new under the sun but on steroids. And I think it is just easier for, you know, humanity to choose themselves over each other. I just also think that I had this idea in my head, and this idea that came to me was, imagine a world where your inner child is safe. And then imagine that safety in the most unsafe conditions on paper. And I had this idea of when my little baby self, and it's nighttime, all you can see are the moon, the stars, crickets chirping, tall grass to run through. And I sat in that space for a while and I thought, like, why there, right? Like, that's a pretty vulnerable place. And wouldn't you know, I get this divine download that was always my birthright. To be in a place that any parent would say is just not the right move for a kid. Just nighttime. No one else but nature around. And I know confidently and consciously that nothing that happens to me in my loneliness outside by myself in isolation, that nothing bad would happen to me. I had this visceral, childlike trust in that moment. And yes, it did move me to freaking tears. Of course I cried. Of course I cried. But who doesn't want that, right? And I don't have any kids. Yeah, I don't have any kids. So I can't begin to know what a mother's love is like. This isn't me saying that I know how mothers feel, but as a person who spent the last several months just repairing my relationship with my inner child and my inner teen, I can confidently say that I would want to live in a world where not only would I feel safe out and about, but any of my offspring would feel safe, and not because we're in this isolated place that we earned for safety, not in our gated community on the top of a hill overlooking all of the normies, but like, imagine a world where every single being is trustworthy, and so I don't have to worry that my child is frolicking at night by themselves. I don't have to worry, because everything in the world, in this world, is safe. It's been sitting with me. It's stuck in my head. I can't let it go. I will keep talking about this. And I don't really know, like, you don't want to come back from planet Earth when you sit with that kind of, like, feeling of just innate knowledge of infinite realms of safety. No looking over your shoulder, no more worrying about whoever you're dating being, bad or wrong or a freaking serial killer. Like, oh, that shit, no one's worried about that. Because everyone there has everyone's best interest in mind. And no one is the same. No one is an identical cookie-cutter person, but everybody is a safe individual. And I don't know, that world seems beautiful to me. Sorry, I'm back. So yeah, I've just been sitting with this idea of imagining this world where, human beings aren't a threat and a menace. They're simply beings we cohabitate with, and we don't have to think of it any farther than that. And it doesn't have to be scary. It doesn't have to be, determinant on who is more worthy of this level of care and consideration, but just humans should be this way with each other. And I've just been sitting with that for a while. Like, seriously, imagine a world where all of the devil's advocates can hang out with the devil being his advocate and leave you well enough alone to just live the safety that you believe wholeheartedly is a basic human right. Because, like, the life you're living isn't sinful, it isn't deserving of death and dying. You were not put on this planet to martyr yourself for everyone else's ignorance. You were just meant to be here to exist in harmony with everything around you and one another. And yeah, it's weird, like, it seems insane, and yet I have been thinking about it heavy. I don't know if you can see the magic of that, but this is just a hair hook. It's got some, wow, it's making the colors pretty. It's got a rose and another rose on it. Why did I do that? That's crazy. And I think that's all. Like, I'm sitting here making this, and this is literally all I wanted, was to just have something pretty in my hair. And I think the thing that's just been sticking out to me is, like, man, the way society starts to devil's advocate into ourselves, making us second guess, you know, ourselves all the time. I think that sucks. I think that's BS. I think that's not okay. And I think just small acts are really important, just as much as all the shadow work you've probably been doing and all the that's how true it is. Busted out everywhere. I feel like I'm not supposed to tell you this. I feel like I'm not supposed to tell you this. Like, for some reason, everything that could go wrong is definitely going wrong in this house, and it's not lost on me, because I be making jewelry all the time. I don't ever have this many technical difficulties. But that's okay. It's not the end of the world. Yet. But seriously, like, I think we all, at least those of us who've been hanging out with me long enough, I think we're all pretty ready to do what we've felt we've been meant to do this whole time. And living in fear was not part of the package deal of this existence. I think that caution, sure, but head on a swivel, because you don't know who you can and cannot trust. And it's not just strangers, it's even people in your own family, it's people in your own, you know, complex, it's your own co-workers. You just never know. Everyone's in it for themselves, and I don't think we were meant to live like that at all. It seems so foreign, because, like, at the end of the day, we still have to trust human beings and other entities, like, you know, human beings and their brains and their machines and how they work. We still have to do the trusting in that, but we get to pretend that we're entitled to it when we're not careful, and then I think that's what happens to developed nations. It's just a lot of, like, hierarchical rhetoric to dispose of the lowlives, so that, because they're under the impression that the resources are just scarce. So, and I've just been thinking about that. I would like to live in a world, personally, that is very safe. And not just safe because, you know, people aren't out here, you know, they're on the other side of a wall from me. I believe that even if I don't fully understand a person, that doesn't necessarily mean that that collective person is bad. I think I don't understand. I do, however, believe in evil people. I'm literally watching them run our country right now, and it's kind of ridiculous. And it's interesting because those same people, those people who have no problem taking advantage of others, are also super quick to like cast a judgment on random groups of people as though they are the problem. It's like a deflection, you know? They're deflecting. They know that they are exactly the thing that they are accusing others of. Does that make sense? Boop. My cat's being nosy. But yeah, it's not lost on me. If you guys want to try this, by the way, this is actually super easy to do. Like, you can just strand a couple of beads and hook like a circle thingy to one of these, and then you have like sophisticated hair jewelry. I'm just saying, like, do it. If you want to do it yourself, you should. And I honestly think, I hope that when we do craft chats, we're all hanging out together, just running our fucking mouths. But I invite that. I hope that we're getting things done together, actually. Yeah, like, I don't know. My head's in the clouds about it, though. And I guess, like, I'll make this other one, while we continue to talk. I think that's been heavy on my mind, because I think that it's a natural thing that people want to indulge in, which is just, what does safety feel like? I do feel like safety feels a lot more than just being a child in the nighttime sky, being confident in your environment and the safety within it, that you never think twice about what could possibly be lurking in the shadows, because the shadows are your friends. They mean you no harm. Nothing lurking in the shadows is there to harm you. They just want shelter for themselves. I don't know. It's like, do I dare to dream that I am in an environment one day, or my children get to experience one day, an environment of safety that's not classist or, you know, something you have to earn and be worthy of. It just, you just have to be comfortable with boundaries of others. There are some basic human right things. Don't be a dick is basically the only law, and everyone's on the same team about it. I think about that a lot, especially more so now than I have in a minute. Just kind of the actual, like, the actualness of it. Definitely, like, no sir, that's enough, that's enough, that's enough. My cat is starting to try to climb into the laptop. You're not doing that today. You break it, you buy it, my dude. Yeah. But yeah, like, I've been fantasizing about this world, and it's got me in a loop because I try to create safety in my life and try to find a way for me to have control over the safety in my life, and there's like a level of it that I have control over. I can choose the company that I keep now that I'm older, whereas as a child I had no choice in the company that insisted itself upon me. Yeah, I didn't originally have a choice. And this is just kind of like general criticism, like children tend to not have a choice at all in any of these conversations that are had. Like the child doesn't usually have a say, and I think that's weird that people don't notice this. But yeah, like I was a kid wanting to interact, but not wanting to be taken advantage of, and now I'm an adult and I'm having to like rewrite all of that history around like what is good, what is not for me. So I don't know, fam. It does seem like a big ask of the world to straighten up and fly right, as it were. Seems like a really big ask. But it also, what disturbs me about it is it's not that big of an ask. Like, I think that our general preset disposition and coding was always to live in peace and harmony with one another. I don't believe that we were ever supposed to be one over another. I think I never actually subscribed to that. I think that people wanted me to subscribe to it because it's a hell of a lot easier to justify being the fucking worst when you yell God wills it every time you do something, and you know your brute force is the only indication you have of a job well done in your life. If that's all you know is to just be aggressive and forceful, and that's the only connection to the divine you know, then like why can't you just be in a society full of people that want to be fucked up like you know? I don't know. Talking shit, getting it off my chest, while making things that are really pretty. And I think, like, that's it. That's the tea. That's all there is to it. My cat's just shoving his face in Palo Santo ashes on the floor. And I think that that's great. He gets to just be a cat. Meanwhile, human beings are putting rules and regulations on every single thing that happens with another human being. It's like, people are just so damn nosy. Like, we keep talking about the money god. This cat. We keep talking about the money god. We keep talking about, you know, gods of mischief. We keep talking about everything but a peaceful existence of harmony. We keep talking about it, but we're not doing anything about it, and I think that's weird. So I'll keep talking about it since I have literally nothing else to do all day until I can do something about it. I just keep thinking about my baby self lately. I keep thinking about what it means to honor that baby self, so much so that the world can change around it, around that idea. Been really, really thinking about it. And it's weird because like the more I think about it, the more discouraging it gets sometimes, because I'm like, yeah, but I'm just like a bard in training, you know? I have no prospects. Except I have, you know, exactly what I'm supposed to have. An annoying ass cat for one. And all the intricacies that entails. have my family, I have school, I have a future. And even though I am seeing clearly a lot of things that need to change, and I see that I'm still just stringing beads on wire and bitching at my cat and having a family and all that. I don't know. I still go back to that. What a world that would be if we could all just feel safe and collaborate with that safety. What does a world look like with no creepy uncles? What does a world look like when you can trust every single person that you see? That you know beyond shadow of a doubt that every human being around you truly means you no harm, if anything. They want to expand the world with you at any capacity, without causing harm to you or anyone else. Is there an utterance of a world where we finally don't keep screwing this shit up? That's my fantasy. That's what's heavy on my mind. What a fucking world that would be. Where I just can live my life knowing that every single person has the same safety and love ideology and respect ideology. And not on some everyone's gotta do it my way, but on some like collectively, wouldn't that be better? And trust me, a lot of these like things I've been thinking about of a world of peace and safety are all kind of things that we already know to do. It's just that like we keep pretending that it's impossible when we're having the conversation in real time. Like, yeah, we all want to live in a paradise where we all can trust each other, but that's just not realistic, is usually the conversation that I hear the most. And it's like, most of those people believe in Christian heaven. That's crazy to me. Like, how do you believe in all that, but you don't actually think it's for anyone but you? That's crazy. Oh, I didn't show you what I made. How dare I? It's the same thing on the other side, but instead of roses, it has a little like blue bead on the bottom. All that iridescent gold energy hitting the camera. I don't know if this is going to be in the final cut, but yeah. Just chips with gold pieces, and you just put that shit to your hair. Why not? Because why not? Look how pretty. And it's super simple to make, so you just keep taking little hair cuffs and adding beads to them. Because why the fuck not? That's all I want to do. All this, like, what are the gays up to? What are the black people up to? What is everybody else up to? What about the Latinos? Like, what about everybody else? Like, leave me the fuck alone. Actually, all I wanted to do is this. You're the one who wants to start world wars over yachts and shit. Like, I'm just trying to do music and mind my business. Be a vibe, make a vibe, contribute to a vibe. Give a shit about people in the process. Do what I can to make life a little bit easier for those who have struggled before me. Snack without a tummy ache. And just put weird shit in my hair. Like, I just want to put weird shit in my hair and on my face and on my body and play with beads. And I think that it's interesting that I have this visceral feeling that people have tried to erase that sense of entitlement from us, of just care. But I hope that that doesn't permeate. I hope that you can sit with this idea, maybe, of a world where you're not worried. Of a world where people give a shit about each other. A world where babies are protected by the night, not preyed upon at night. And I think I'm done. I think that's all I needed to share with you. I invite you to explore what that means for you. What does it feel like for your baby self, your teen self, your adult self, your vulnerable self? What does it feel like for that person to feel visceral safety? And if you feel compelled or interested, I wouldn't mind you, I don't know, sharing it in the comments. What does ultimate safety look like for you? What would it look like to know that you can rest and not worry about it? What's the world look like without doors and windows? I am curious to hear what it sounds like or looks like to you. For me, like I said, safety in the nighttime. I can frolic in tall grass, and I know the moon is watching, and I can get home safely because everything is safe. I'm curious to know what you think. I love you guys. Take care.